All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. Sorry for a little delay this morning. Just a lot of stuff going on. Had a couple of phone calls as well. Let me just situate here real quick. Had to rush to get this stream going. Hopefully everything is working. We are now in Singapore. We're just traveling the world because we can't do it in real life. So we are in Singapore. Hope you guys recognize the doggy to my right, I guess. To my right, your left. And all right, let's go to the charts. Let's see what's going on. I don't even know what's going on. We're about to find out together. Is Bitcoin rising or falling? It was rising this morning. I don't know if it's falling or rising now. We were like in the price was like pushing new all-time highs. I think we made a new high early this morning. Let's see where we are now. It's just been busy on phone calls and other work. Okay, so here's the weekly chart. The weekly chart doesn't look like we're at new highs. So we're going to dive deeper. But the weekly chart is on an MRI top. This is the week of an MRI top. Now, GBTC is going to be closed tomorrow for the US holiday. So keep that in mind. So if I wanted to exit more GBTC, I got to do it today or Friday because I won't get a chance to do it tomorrow. And Friday is going to be a half day. So might not have much liquidity on Friday. Let's see what's going on daily. Right. So I thought I saw early this morning that we were pushing new all-time high. And we did. We broke yesterday's high this morning. Not by much, but it was certainly broken. And I don't know what happened since then. So let's go, deeper. But right now, like I said, we could get another MRI top on Saturday, creating the perfect combination of a double MRI daily inside the weekly. You can also see these W's right here. And these W's is a way to see that there is a higher level time frame that is calling for a top. That's the weekly top right there. Let's go to the daily. What's going on today? Nope, that's the hourly. Sorry, this is the daily. Let's go to the hourly or the 4 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour first. So, right, this morning, if you're on the US East Coast, or middle of the night if you're on the US West Coast, or in the middle of the afternoon if you're in Europe, we hit a new high. So that's pretty good. I believe yesterday I said that I would be bullish at the break. Oh, no, those were hourly charts. So we'll go back to the hourly in a minute. So this is not concerning yet. We did fall last night down to 18.4. We just fell this hour, I guess, down to 18.9. We're above 19 now. I don't think this is that much of a concern. Look, the weekly being at a top is a concern. This is why I'm taking my profit. But if we ignore the fact that there is a weekly high, and I do a channel, this is starting to look like this. Like that. And that's a channel that seems to be holding the prior swing high as support. And we're in the middle of this channel. And that is potentially one more push up. I want to go to the 1 hour chart with this look. Because I think it's good. And here we are. Right. So yesterday, there was an hourly MRI top. The following candle did go higher than the prior candle. Normally, I wait for the next candle to go above the swing high, but I think yesterday I was a little bit cavalier and a little bit over bullish short term, and I said I would be bullish at the break of the bodies, which meant I would have been in a very shitty trade to the upside. because I didn't stay patient enough. I didn't stick to my own proper rules of going higher than the prior candle's high and the close. So what that means is if I turned on my green stars with my own rules, display reversal star after MRI top, bottom, continuation of trend, this I need close condition needs to be the last candle. And this needs to be the prior candle. And you should not see a green star here. And by not seeing a green star here, it means that I would not have been triggered to go long based on my official rules. But the rules are just there to be broken by every trader. So in last night's video, I basically broke my own rule and said I'd be bullish on the hourly chart at the break of the body, not patient enough for the top, and I would have paid for it with a bad losing trade. Would I have held this losing trade all the way down? Probably not. Probably would have taken my stop loss at the worst case scenario when the red star showed up, but probably before that. This big drop would have probably scared me. But you did get a chance to get out break even. Probably wouldn't have done it, but we clearly did go and did make a higher high. Not comforting, but this consolidation, if this consolidation resolves itself in the next 24 hours, I think there's going to be one more push higher. I don't know what Thanksgiving means for crypto trading. I also want to look at GBTC. GBTC had a swing high yesterday. I have not yet. I mean, I've already gotten out plenty out of GBTC earlier. I didn't get a chance to get out yesterday, mostly because I never turned on my trading account. Just, after this podcast yesterday, I got on another podcast and then, I don't know, just got caught up with shit. And am I going to open my account today to get out? Probably not. I'll wait. Like I said, I already got out enough, and I'm happy to just wait for the dip and buy. But if we go higher, if we do break this on Friday, I will get out. I'll get out on Friday if we are above this high. I'm now going to need a new high to get out. The high was 24.06. So if we get to the vicinity of 24.50, I would get out of GBTC, either only leave 25% of my original position or nothing, or go straight to cash all the way, get out completely, not risk the weekend, because I am respecting the weekly MRI. You don't have to respect the weekly MRI. Every trader needs to make their own decisions. This is an indicator I am proud of. This is an indicator I put together. Yes, it uses a lot of stuff from other traders and indicators from who I learned how to trade. So it's not 100% original with every facet of the indicator. But this is the indicator that I trust, I respect it, and I do not want to be sitting in large leveraged Bitcoin positions right now. I will take my gain and call it a good month. Okay. Everything else still looks good. Except Bitcoin dominance, because shitcoins are pumping. Bitcoin got too expensive. I remain bearish gold. Nothing changed. The weekly chart remains bearish. MRI called it beautifully when no one thought gold would ever go down. This is where people were saying $5,000 gold, $5,000 gold. And I was saying, I will respect the MRI top, and I'm expecting a correction to 1750. We are almost at 1750. Now, if we get to 1750, it doesn't mean I'm going to buy gold. It means I can consider buying gold, but it doesn't mean it can't keep falling. S&P is holding steady. Made a new all-time high today. Well, not really. In the futures market, it made an earlier all-time high. In the cash market, it made an all-time high 2 days ago. But now we're looking at a new all-time high close on the weekly scale. On a daily scale, doesn't matter. You can look at it on the futures chart. Daily scale, we're holding at the top. Weekly scale, new weekly closing high, makes me bullish. That's it. I don't have anything else. What are the differences between the MRI and Tom DeMark's indicators? This isn't a video on me explaining the differences. The only way to learn the differences is to purchase the MRI and you get an educational video. But if you're not interested in, I'm not a salesman, guys. I'm not. My job is not, contrary to what the trolls say, my job is not to sell you stuff. This podcast is continues because there is demand for people who want to hear my opinion on the price of Bitcoin. In order for me to provide you the best opinion on the price of Bitcoin, I need to use certain technical analysis tools. One of my favorite technical analysis tools is the momentum reversal indicator, which is my proprietary code. So you can either listen to my opinion or you can purchase and learn how to use the MRI. But I'm not going to do a public video about the differences between the two because, like I said, my job isn't for sales. It's there available because people were asking. So those that want access to the MRI and a 6-hour-long video on how to trade it, which talks about the differences, because it has to, you're welcome to purchase it, and it's on sale. It is, where's my website? It's on sale for Black Friday. It's about 45% off right now. I dropped the price to $500. You can select Bitcoin or PayPal. Most people select PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, that's okay. Click checkout as guest and use a credit card. So that's how the majority of people pay for it. And of course, all the on-demand videos are on sale as well, between 25 and 33% off on everything on this website. Tone, MRI top 3 called, well, right. So on a monthly scale, that's not it here. People asked me to look at the weekly Heikin Ashi. Forgot about that. So MRI has been working incredibly well with Heikin Ashi, and we just missed it. These two candles kind of like I said, if you look at it on Mt. Gox, this is also an MRI top. So on Mt. Gox, so this is great. Look, MRI top back in 2011. This was a double MRI top on Mt. Gox, which was the biggest exchange at the time. Just missed it on the index of many exchanges. The first MRI top didn't do it because Bitcoin bull markets are pretty bullish. Beautiful MRI bottom call right here in the middle of 2015. And then we had a triple 3 consecutive MRI tops. And by consecutive, I mean literally consecutive. There was no break in between. If there is a break in between, you don't get consecutive. You just get another one with a number 1. So this is 27 candles in a row that meet the condition to continue the MRI count. And then perfect bottom call right here in 2018. I should have taken it slightly more seriously. I thought that the bear market was not over, and I was very, very cautious. And that's why I was able to avoid getting wrecked right here in March. But right after this drop, the next day, I became a bull, and I'm still a bull. And next month is an MRI top. Why is, okay, because Heikin Ashi, that's why we're down here. Next month is another MRI top. Now, is the next month's MRI top going to be like the 2011 one and we go straight down? Or is it going to be more like the 2013 or the 2016 one? I think it's going to be more like the 2013 or 2016 one. I think we are going to go higher, and we're going to do at least a double MRI top. Maybe not directly consecutively, but I do think another monthly MRI top is coming, at least one more, before the end of this bull cycle. So this is only getting started, but it doesn't mean that we can't pull back. All right, any questions? Tone, if one of the reasons why you have your own full node is to validate your own transactions, wouldn't that entice scammers to have their own node so they can double spend or somehow scam? No, that's not how Bitcoin works. No, it's the opposite of that. That's not how it works. Scammers don't want you running a node. That's how you know it's a scammer. Scammers don't want you running a node. Scammers don't want you validating your own transactions. Here's another example. Here's a real life example. Do you think the IRS wants to have their, do you think the US government or any government, the European government, any government, do you think any government is interested in using a blockchain so that everyone can see the validation of tax revenue, where every penny of tax revenue is going? And the answer is no. Scammers don't want you to see what they're doing, and scammers don't want you running a node. Running a node is the opposite. So here's where we look at Ethereum. And like I said, if you understand the importance of running a node, you know more about blockchains than Vitalik Buterin, because Vitalik Buterin doesn't understand the importance of running your own node. He even tells you not to run your own node. So by default, and I've said this before, you understand blockchains better than Vitalik if you understand the reason for running your own node. So please Google reasons for running your own node. You cannot be scammed. You cannot read fake news. If you Google the reason to run your own node, you can't read fake news on that. You can't read a scammer on the reasons for running a fake node, okay? It's like the reasons why you should work out. I mean, if you Google, why should I exercise? I think it's almost impossible to read a scam as to why you should exercise. Now, if you Google, why should I take supplements instead of exercising? 90% of the shit you will read is a scammer trying to convince you to eat their pills instead of exercising. However, if you Google, why should I exercise? It's almost impossible to read a scam. Same thing with a node. Do you really want me to talk about climate change? Thank you, Millie. Thank you for liking the indicator. Tone, your thoughts on XLE? I haven't looked at sectors in a long time. I think I have sectors. I haven't looked at them in forever. XLE, it should be the energy sector. It looks good. Looks great. Not at all time. Not. Whoa. Take that back. Looks like shit now. It's just catching up. Still way behind. I mean, it's bullish, but I don't know what that means. I think the world economy is going to shut down again. So oil could go negative again. Like it's so depressing what's happening with people and how much they want to lock other people up and how much they want to snitch on other people for being healthy. Like I have to park my car like around the block from my gym like everyone else at the gym because none of us want our gym to be shut down. Where it's literally it's like the 1920s prohibition, but to go to a gym is now anyway, I don't even know where to start, guys. It's the stupidity of people thinking that they will stop a virus by putting people in a cage is retarded. And if I get my channel shut down for saying retarded, retarded. Me talking about my Bitcoin storage is not a good idea because I'm a public person. So I wish I can help you, but I can't. So someone is asking me Heikin Ashi candles versus regular candles. It only takes 3 seconds to look at the MRI on the Heikin Ashi candles. So you just have to remember to do it. Here's the weekly version. And see the weekly version of Heikin Ashi. Is it better? Well, I don't know if it's better. It should be the same. I believe there was an MRI top around this week in normal candles. And here in normal candles, that was a warning. So it might be better on regular candles. Like, I don't know if it's better or not better. It's not up to me to decide if it's better or not better. It's up to your trading portfolio to decide if it's better or not better. According to the Heikin Ashi candles, the MRI top is next week, not this week. So by me knowing that, maybe I should be less concerned about selling my Bitcoin this week, giving it another shot next week to go higher because of Heikin Ashi. But if we look at February 24th Heikin Ashi, that was a warning. And if I go to regular candles, February 24th, I didn't have an MRI top at all. So it looks like Heikin Ashi did a better job. Heikin Ashi gave me an MRI top here. It was a warning top, but it was still a top. It was still an arrow. It was still a warning, which I didn't even get. I didn't even get a warning before the big crash. But using Heikin Ashi, I would have been warned. So right here, Heikin Ashi warned me and that I need to get out. But here, Heikin Ashi is telling me I should stay more patient. So it's up to you to decide what is better and will it give you an advantage over others. Like, for example, I've never talked about Heikin Ashi with MRI before, ever. First time on a weekly scale. I've never looked at it. So if someone that has had the MRI for years was using it on a weekly scale, even though I never was, that person had an advantage to get out of Bitcoin. And that person is also now more patient, sitting at home screaming at the screen, Tone, you got out too early. If only you looked at Heikin Ashi, you would have stayed in there. Because remember, guys, I was out. I'm already out half of my GBTC position. And I got out here on this candle last week. Some of it earlier in the candle, some of it near the top of the candle. So it's up to you to decide if it's better or not. Not up to me. Is it possible to run a node on a smartphone or better use a laptop? No, it is possible to run a node on your smartphone. You will need a smartphone with a little bit of a battery, with a little bit of memory, but you don't need to download the entire blockchain. So the blockchain right now is 250 gigs. Now, if you get a cell phone with a terabyte of storage, or you have an SD card with a terabyte of storage, you can certainly do it with a full node on your cell phone, but you don't really have to because, see, you have a full validating node. So at home, so you have it. And then you can use just the last few blocks, knowing that you just use the last few blocks. So it's still, I recommend anyone that cares about Bitcoin should have the history of every single transaction from the very first transaction. Now, those of you that, I'm going to cut the screen share. So here, I'm wearing the shirt. And you can see the date on the shirt. The shirt doesn't have a Bitcoin logo. So if I walk through the airport, someone better know what the shirt means, and they can say Bitcoin. Okay, that's January 3rd, 2009. That's the first Genesis block. Okay. If anyone's wondering where that shirt's from, I'm gonna give my man a shout out. Unfortunately, I lost his sweatshirt. I don't even know how, so I gotta order one more sweatshirt. I gotta Google for the website. It's called Satoshi Corner. There it is. I got it on my mug too, but I got busy this morning. I didn't have time to make tea. But here, next time I do screen share, because I know I'm not on screen share now, I'll show the website. So, and we are in Singapore. Shout out to the pup. So, reading Hyperwave, which, by the way, has been officially disqualified as of a few weeks ago. What was I talking about? The node stuff. I need to do an Understanding Bitcoin podcast. I don't even know that much. It's hard for me to educate you guys on shit that I barely understand. And I'm being humble here that I barely understand how to run my own node, but I do it. No, you don't need to. You can just keep the last 10 blocks or the last 100 blocks in your phone. You don't need, 50,000 blocks or 50,000, like a million blocks, or like since the Genesis block, but you should have them in your laptop. But then you can piggyback off of that. It is still a full validating node because you are validating your own transactions with your own consensus rules. Not your consensus rules, but the consensus rules. All right, next question. Tone, how would you draw a fib retracement on the current 1 hour or 4 hour chart? I can't seem to find the proper low. I'm not a Fibonacci expert. Fiboswani, who's usually in this chat during the live stream, is a bigger Fibonacci expert. I guess I should have him on the show one of these days again. All right, here's Satoshi Corner. This is where I got my shirt. I specifically ask them without the Bitcoin logo so that they're a little less obvious. I used to have a sweatshirt. I need to buy. I think I'll have to pay for the next one because I had a free one and I'm the idiot that lost it. So this is the sweatshirt he normally sells. The unzipped hoodie. But I had a request for a zipped hoodie because I don't like unzipped hoodies. So this is the Tone Vays commissioned zipped hoodie that Tone Vays somehow managed to lose. I still don't even know how. I don't normally lose shit. And mine is not here, but it's on the other image, which is kind of funny. So it's not any of these, but it's literally this one. And also without the Bitcoin logo. You can get it with the Bitcoin logo. I want it without. And I think my thing was bigger. Anyway, I'll order one. I'll order one. I'll support. Just haven't gotten around to it. All right. 4 hour or 1 hour Fibonacci's. How would I draw it? Well, here's the 1 hour. Let's go to 4 hour. I would have to look for a critical swing low. And we haven't had one. So I guess maybe this. If I was drawing the 4 hour Fibonacci, I would do it this way from here to there. That's how I do it. And I don't think it's all that helpful. I don't think there is. I wouldn't be using Fibonacci's right now. That's me. It's not my primary tool. When do you buy XDD? Do you watch TA? I don't understand the question. I'm sorry, Salta. I have no idea what that question means. You may want to rephrase it. Thoughts on ICLN? Nope, not there. Nope, not there either. ICLN. iShares Trust Global Clean Energy. Okay. It's doing well. I'm bullish. I'm bullish. I mean, look, there's an agenda to force clean energy. So, yeah, clean energy stocks are going to rise. But it's on a weekly top. God, these things are so useful. It's in the middle of a weekly top, so could be it, could be over, or at least a local top. See, I'm not very scared of this top. The candle is not bearish. We have consolidation. If I was, if I made a shit ton of money, I would get out. I would have got out here. I would have got back in here. I would have got out there. I would have got back in like here. And if I would have taken the loss, I could have gotten back in over here. And now I'm getting out again. So I'm getting out. I can always go back in. Like, I respect the MRI tops. What can I tell you? Like, I would be a hypocrite if I sat here, looked at my own indicators with red arrows and say, nope, no reason to worry. Then why the hell do I have this thing? CPE. What is CPE? Nice low of extension B. I don't know what this is. Weekly looks kind of bullish, but I think it's too late. It's just gone up way too far, way too fast. Guys, please, like you're asking me about these things at like a useless time. I would be getting out. If I was long, I would be getting out. Like, is anyone ever gonna ask me to look at something when it's about to break out? Like, no one ever does. This is not the time to buy. This is the time to take your profit. Is it a time to short? I don't know, maybe, but it's definitely not the time to buy. When is the time to buy? Well, how about where we're breaking out? Or how about when you're at the lows with green arrows? So most people are asking about this because they just heard about it on the news. Guys, if you just heard about a stock on mainstream media, please do not ask me about it. Don't ask me about a stock you just found out about it. If it's a stock you discovered on your own, randomly, sure. But if it's a stock that you saw on CNBC yesterday, don't ask me about it. That means it's too late. It's too late by default. Kramer is not going to tell you about a stock that is a sleeper. He can't. That's not how those shows function. There are many repercussions about me discussing where I will be living in the future, especially after I start living there. If I tell you what those repercussions are, that's also not wise. See, the problem with laws is that if I tell you about the repercussions, it means I'm aware of the repercussions. And if I'm aware of the repercussions, that's not good. If I create a self-directed IRA or a self-directed Roth IRA, would I be able to carry out trades without paying taxes? What other measures do I need to take? Well, the answer is yes, you would. That's what I do. I have a self-directed IRA and I have a self-directed Roth IRA. And in the I don't pay taxes on either of those, but in the self-directed IRA, I will have to pay taxes after the age of 60 when I start taking the money out. In a self-directed Roth IRA, I trade tax-free for the rest of my life. I will never pay taxes on that money now or later or at 70 when I take the money out. So all my returns, all my gains are tax-free. That is what a Roth IRA is. And if you make it self-directed, you can trade in it. Now, be careful about trading in your Roth IRA, because if you get wrecked in your Roth IRA, you can't just put more money back in. That's not how it works. You are only allowed to put, as an American, about $6,000 a year into a Roth IRA. So if you contributed for $6,000 a year for 10 years, and it's $60,000, and you took on a bad options trade and that account crashed to 10 grand, the best you can do is put $6,000 more in the next year. So even if you're a millionaire, all you can do is put $6,000 a year into a Roth. You could also convert your IRA into a Roth IRA and pay the taxes during the conversion. And I'm not a licensed advisor, by the way. I'm just telling you what I've done. But yes, that's how. Guys, I've taken a look at JMIA like 2 times this week. I can't. It makes no sense to look at the same exact stock every freaking day. This show would last 24 hours long if I was doing that. I'll take a look at that one, but there's nothing more I can say. I missed it. We all missed it. I was talking about the stock for a year. I was telling everyone that this is a legitimate company that will eventually rebound. I missed the trade. Most of you missed the trade. We all missed the trade. Like, what do you want me to say? It's bullish, but I would be exiting if I was in it. Since I am not in it, I am not going to short. So I'm just going to watch and let it go up without me. That's all I can do. I can watch, say I missed it, and go find something else. There's nothing to say. There is a giant orange arrow right there. Like, what? It tells you that there's a warning, and tomorrow, not tomorrow, and Friday, there will be a red arrow. Tilray, I didn't miss. I did profit from Tilray. I don't know where it is now. So Tilray could be interesting. It was more fun buying it back here. Look at that beautiful MRI buy right off the low, right there, this entire day. I mean, if you got in early, you got it in for 250. If you got in late, you got in for 4. Still a good trade. Went way higher. Broke what? Broke $10? Broke $11.50. Went back down. Beautiful week right there. Weekly buy. Let's go to the weekly chart. Look at that weekly buy right on the low. Like why didn't people tell me to look at it this week? You know, like end of September, the week of September 28th. You know, why are you guys asking me about Tilray now? Why didn't anyone tell me to look at Tilray the week of September 28th, right? I mean, that big green arrow right there. I mean, that's when you gotta pay attention to it, not now. The high was there. The top's here. I'm not touching it. I'll wait. PLTR. Okay. Okay. Well, what do you want me to say? I don't know what to say. I don't know what this is. Whatever they're doing it right. It's one of the few IPOs that never pulled back. It's like Google. They priced the IPO right, and it went straight up. Wait for a second MRI top. Take your profit. I'm not shorting this. So watch and admire. You guys are asking me about the wrong stocks. Okay? The wrong stocks. We have, I can't like show this. Well, maybe I could. Hold on. I don't know. You know what? I need to put a link to this in my YouTube description or something. I have an alerts group. I have an MRI alerts Telegram group. It is free. A channel. Sorry, channel, not group. It is completely free. I want to show it to you guys, but I'm going to dox my entire Telegram channel. So I don't want to do that. Oh, maybe I won't dox it. Hold on. I can do it. I can kind of do it. Hold on. Maybe I can do it. Here. All right. Oh, this is going to be dangerous. Let me change screen share. Ah, crap. I need to. Man, I can't. I want to screen share it, but there's something I don't want to dox. So it's a problem. It's a problem. Oh, no, I have a way around it. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm going to change my screen share. All right, so here's my Telegram account. And if I, so I'll put a link to this. This is free. It's like thousands of people in this. But I haven't made this link public in a while. But this is where we post, you know, MRI tops. So what is this? Like, is this an MRI top that I care about? This candle is bothering me, but that's a decent MRI top. Potential to reverse the asset. Can I go left or right? Yeah, I can. Here we go. What is this? Hey, can you guys see that? Let me just make sure. Just make sure you can see it. Yep, you can. So that's an MRI top as well, but I don't like that candle before the top, so I wouldn't short this. Let's go to the candle before. The candle before the... Ooh, see, that's interesting to me. Freeport McMoran. I'm familiar with that company. That's a double MRI top. This thing has gone straight up. This, I would potentially be interested in shorting, taking a speculative short. even as bullish as it is. I'd consider it. This is not trading advice, but I would certainly consider it. Now, if I was long, I'd be getting out. But right there, like I'd rather have, buying opportunities. Ooh, what is this? First Energy Corp. That's interesting. That's a potential buy opportunity, especially if that's a candle, if that's a reversal candle, especially if that's a reversal candle. Here's another. So all this group is a channel that posts MRI tops and bottoms, and then you can decide what to do with the asset. Citigroup. Again, I don't like that candle yesterday that pushed it all the way up, but yeah, this thing has gone up too far too fast, and maybe it's time to pull back. That's an interesting one. What is this? I mean, the ticker is not there. It's unfortunate that you can't see the ticker. But you can look up the company. Actually, we're gonna put the ticker in. I'm gonna talk to my. Actually, hey, if you're watching, if the person that puts these in here, because that's not me, there are things that I have help with. So for the person that's watching, there is a setting that can put the ticker back here as a water drop. And also we need to stop displaying the time here, but actually display the price. So I got to get on a call with my guy and make those changes for you guys. I'll put the link to this channel in the video description for those interested. Anyway, you get the point. Stop the screen share. I mean, not docs anymore. All right. Do I have any other questions? No. Okay, so hey guys, so please support. We have a Black Friday sale. All videos are between 25 and 33% off. And the MRI that I just discussed is at about 45% off, down to only $500. Yeah, it's 50% off. It used to be 0.05, and now it's 0.026, which is 500 flat right now. So there you go. You get a 50% off on the MRI for those interested. Do you think we will break all-time high? I think there is a chance to do it this week. I think there is a chance to break the all-time high, but I also think that, look, this week has a chance to break the all-time high, but I also think it's going to start pulling back this week. So will it hit the all-time high before it starts pulling back? I'm not sure. I will be, watching it just like you guys. I have no idea. Look, everyone wants me to look at other stocks. The world is forever. Here's Tesla. Wait, where was I? What tab was I using to scroll through stocks? Oh, I guess it was Tesla. I guess it was here. Oh, Tesla is up big time. Wow, 560. Had I kept my Friday trade, I would have been up ridiculous amounts, but I took my profit and got out. A little bit of profit. It wasn't much to even discuss. Yeah, went up big time. Ironically, the one day, the main day of my trade was the down day that kind of got me out of my trade way too early. So yesterday's close was 555, and today we're even higher than that. So there you go. Everyone wants Tesla. What do you want me to say? It's bullish. I'm not entering. 2 more days and you have an MRI top. I'd consider a short. Everything goes back down. Nothing goes up forever. Not even Bitcoin. Oh, screen share is not on because I took off the other one. All right, there you go. I mean, it's not much to see. It's just going straight up. Do you think the euro will collapse against the dollar? I used to think that. But now we're going to get political. You guys want me to get political? Talk about climate change too. No more screen share. I'm done. I'll talk about the euro for a minute. I'm not as pessimistic on the euro anymore because I became more pessimistic on the dollar than the euro, and not because they're printing money. So it's a good question. Do I still think the euro is going to collapse? Not as much as I did, over the last 10 years. I could be wrong on the euro now. The problem is the U.S. election. The problem is the U.S. election. The reason I am not as bearish on the euro is because I think the dollar is in serious trouble. But I don't think the dollar is in trouble because they're printing too many dollars. I think the dollar is in trouble because of election fraud. And what election fraud means to me, here's why election fraud matters so much. I know to a lot of people that don't care. All they care about is their guy winning, or all they care about is orange man losing. To me, election fraud isn't about that. Had Trump committed election fraud, I would be just as upset. So it's not about who won the election. It's about election fraud. Because if enough people believe that there was election fraud, it doesn't mean that there was election fraud. Keep that in mind. Perception, when it comes to currency, any currency, whether it's glass, shells, beads, gold, silver, dollars, Venezuelan bolivars, Bitcoin, Aurora coin, Paycoin, it doesn't matter. Those are real coins, by the way. They were in the top 3 of coin market cap, and not ages ago, in more recent time of 2013, 14. So when it comes to any currency, the only thing that matters is confidence in that currency. The only thing that matters is confidence. That's it. How much confidence do you have in a Venezuelan bolivar? Well, the answer is none. How come you don't have confidence in a Venezuelan bolivar? Well, because a socialist dictator runs the country. That's all that matters to a currency. So if there is a widespread belief, and I believe the belief is legitimate, while others believe that the belief is illegitimate, but that's almost irrelevant. If there is enough widespread belief that your country, the leaders of your country are not chosen by the democracy of the people, but are chosen by those who count the votes, then there is no hope for your currency. Your own people and those around the world will lose faith in the democracy of your country. And if faith in the democracy of your country is lost, your currency is worthless. It's toilet paper. It's worse than toilet paper. That's why the Venezuelan bolivar is garbage. Not because they're printing too many bolivars. It's garbage because no one believes in the democracy of that country. Or no one believes in the dictatorship of their leader. Now, the Russian currency isn't doing so great either. Different dynamic. I mean, the Chinese are in a little bit different situation, but if your country has a global military, like Russia, like China, you can keep your currency afloat. But the US, contrary to the belief that the US dollar is defended by its military, it's not. The US dollar is defended by confidence of the world in the US dollar. Because if shit hits the fan, if Orange Man ends up winning and in the White House, there could be serious civil unrest in the US. And if there is serious civil unrest in the US, what do you think happens to the US global military? Do you think the guy, defending some island in the middle of the Philippines is going to sit in the Philippines scared that his family is going to get killed in their house because of massive US civil unrest? No, that guy is coming home, because if anyone can protect his family better is that guy, that soldier that is protecting some Filipino island somewhere on a base. Okay, that guy is coming home. That guy is coming home to protect his family in the US. Okay, so major civil unrest in the US gets the US military back home. Okay, whether it's to attack its own citizens or people will say, screw this, I'm leaving the military, my wife and kid are more important. Okay, so I'm no longer as bearish on the euro, and I'm more bearish on the dollar, but for one reason only: election fraud. That's it. Climate change propaganda. Yeah, there's a lot of climate change propaganda. If you don't want to hear about my views on climate change, now is your time to, end the stream. And this is how we're going to end today's stream. I've talked enough about COVID. That's, is the COVID a virus? Yes. Is COVID a hoax? No. Is COVID bullshit? No. Is COVID a hysteria of its deadliness or its health risk overblown? Only by 1 billion%. So the COVID discussion is quick. Climate change. So the climate of this planet slightly changes every year, and it's done it for the last 4 billion years. Humans are not going to change the climate of the planet, with one exception. Humans will only change the climate with climate changing technology. It's very simple. Whether you believe, again, I try not to subscribe to conspiracy theories. Many years ago, everyone was raving about HARP, and the government can create earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. And so unless we have our own government tech or alien tech, whatever your conspiracy floats your boat. If the US government has climate altering technology, then yes, we can all potentially alter the climate. Can we terraform Mars or Venus into having a climate that's habitable? If the technology is there, we can do it. As far as assuming we don't have climate altering technology on purpose, my view is humans cause pollution. And the whole argument of climate change is bullshit, because it should be phrased in the context of pollution. Now, pollution could be localized on a very small scale. Pollution could be big on a large scale. And then there is a matter of deforestation. obviously, if we go into the Amazon and we cut down every single tree in the Amazon, we could potentially alter the climate because we just cut down every freaking tree. Okay, so there are extremes, but no one is, and even though Brazil is cutting down parts of the Amazon, and it's easy for us to sit here and say Brazil is not allowed to cut down the Amazon, but you're not in Brazil. You're not the country of Brazil, right? So Americans and Chinese and any other country can't like force Brazil not to cut down their rainforest. Like, you can convince them, you can have an adult discussion as to why they shouldn't cut down the rainforest, but it's their country. You know, the US telling Brazil not to cut down the rainforest is kind of like Brazil telling the US, stop taking oil out of the ground. You know, it's your country. And you want to elect leaders in Brazil that don't have an interest in cutting down the rainforest and find, you know, another way to advance their society without the cutting of the rainforest. Okay, so I understand this stuff somewhat. I did study environment. I studied mostly geology, but I've studied enough environmental geology. So now we get to pollution, and pollution is really bad. It's really bad. Humans cause pollution, and pollution kills people. It absolutely does. Pollution kills people. It could be water pollution. Are we polluting the oceans? Yes. Is polluting the ocean killing ecosystems? Yes. We should not be polluting the oceans. But polluting the oceans is not climate change. It's pollution that's killing species, and potentially we're killing ourselves, but not through climate change. We're killing them through pollution. Okay, so phrase the argument properly, because when you phrase it as climate change, it basically tells me that you don't want to deal with the problem. Phrasing it as we need to solve climate change means you don't know what to do. You don't want to do anything. You want to social signal that you understand something. Okay. Saying that we need to do something about climate change is complete and utter garbage. Okay. Find a specific problem, phrase it in the context of pollution of certain problem, and come up with the solution for that problem. That one particular problem, solve it. If we start solving these localized pollution problems that could then expand into more statewide, countrywide pollution problems, you won't have to be an idiot talking about climate change. Okay. The whole CO2 thing is a whole other discussion. We can, or I mean, I should do a little more research on the CO2 situation, but people forget that CO2, or people just are too ignorant. And I'm talking about scientists too. So some scientists are too ignorant, with PhDs, scientists too ignorant that plants need CO2 to survive. So as CO2 goes up, the amount of plants also goes up. Now, plants breathe CO2 in, breathe oxygen out. So the more plants we have, the more trees we have, the more oxygen we will have. The more CO2 we have, obviously, the more oxygen there is for plants. Now, I don't think people realize that our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, not oxygen. If the amount of oxygen goes up too much in our atmosphere, that creates significant problems. significant problems. Okay, oxygen is great. Your lungs will breathe better, you'll breathe better. But you know what becomes a lot harder? Putting out a fire. So when there's a fire in your house, one of the best things you can do is throw a blanket over it. Because if a fire doesn't get enough oxygen, it immediately goes out. So if our planet suddenly became 50% oxygen, good luck putting a fire out. Okay, so we got a whole other set of problems. And if you're upset about CO2 emission, do you have any idea how much CO2 goes into the air if there was a forest fire, like even today? Like, dead trees are full of that stuff. That's what happens when you burn trees. You're just releasing carbon dioxide because trees contain carbon dioxide. And by the way, the majority of carbon dioxide is coming out of the damn ocean, not out of your car. So good luck stopping that. It's nonsense. It's complete and utter stupidity. And if you guys want to know what controls the temperature on this planet, it's the sun and it's our position within our own universe, which is a direct result of the creation of clouds. There's a good documentary called The Cloud Mystery. You should guys check that out. Well, someone says climate change is a hoax. Well, no, climate change is not a hoax because the climate is always changing. The climate is always changing. It's not a hoax. I believe in climate change. I just think it's stupid to phrase the debate that humans are responsible for climate change. We're not. We're responsible for pollution. And yes, that's bad. And we could be responsible for climate change if we start cutting down every single tree. How about the polar ice caps melting? Again, do your research on the polar ice caps melting. Our climate, when you understand that our climate is always changing, some parts of the planet are losing ice. Other parts of the planet are gaining ice. If you're going to put a camera in the part of the planet that is losing ice, you're going to create this fear-mongering situation. But tell me, which scientist wants to put a camera where the ice is increasing? Why don't you do some research? Just Google, what parts of the world are getting colder? Which parts of the world are becoming uninhabitable because of too much freaking snow? See, when you can't admit that the climate changes naturally, you end up in these ridiculous positions. The polar bear population, last I read, the polar bear population is getting out of control. It's getting kind of big. So explain to me how that's happening if there's no more ice. They kind of like the cold. Yeah, it is the same people. It's the same people that rationalize election fraud as long as their guy won. It's the same people that are arresting you for being a climate change denier. I don't deny climate change. I fully respect the fact that climate is changing. I just call bullshit on blaming people for everything in this particular case. And it's the same people that call the cops if they see you riding a bicycle by yourself without a mask. Okay, it's the same freaking people. And most of them are vegans too. It's the same people. It's that same socialist agenda. It's the mentality. It's that same mentality where I know best. I know better than you. And if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to force you to do it. All right. I think I've aggravated everyone enough. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll probably do a stream tomorrow on Thanksgiving Day. Hope you enjoyed my Singapore background. Let's say hi to Thor. And thank you all for sticking with me. I lost like 300 people during my rant about climate change. Tyler Jenks and I were going to do a crypto scam episode on climate change. He was on the same page as me on climate change. I never got a chance to talk to him about it publicly on a YouTube channel. So see you all on the next one. Good luck. Let's hope there's no mandatory vaccines, but they're coming.